I'm back, and I decided to go ahead and do the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I was kind of debating with it in my head and juggling around. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this, all right? So I'm going to try to be dedicated and do it every week. The only thing it might come, it's not going to be like the same day most likely because I don't watch it on Bravo because I don't have the cable anymore. So it's probably gonna come after. But I'm gonna try to be consistent and keep it going. But I know that Real Housewives, they be long. Like they be having bad episodes, but we gonna see what we can do. Anyway, so honey, I did go ahead and catch up and I'm up to episode 4, so I'm right on track with everybody else. The crazy thing is that honey, Mike is not playing, okay? Because I definitely understand where he's coming from. And you know what I learned before I even get into his situation? I was looking at Cynthia and I'm like, yo, because I remember she was a Pisces. Because I'm like, yo, I do see similarities between her and I, and how, you can kind of soak up your friends' energies and things like that. But when you need to speak up, you do. And sometimes, you could be so into your fairy tale lifestyle and fairy tale in your mind, being a Pisces, that sometimes you don't really consider other people, until you kind of get grounded. And I think that's what kind of happened to her. And then kind of looking at her fiance, well, now her husband, because I did see the photos on Instagram, he's a Leo as well, just like my real thing. I was like, because I kind of seen the demeanor and stuff, it was very similar. And then it just so happens that her daughter is a Scorpio, just like that one back there. So I was like, yo, Cynthia, I see you, boo. I see you. Definitely a lot of similarities. So anyway, now let's get into, after I've told you guys a little bit about my situation, let me go ahead and talk about her. So, yeah, so she was just kind of more, I feel like she was kind of lost in the whole wedding and the fairy tale, and this is the time that I got my coins. I want this to be big and grand, but it's like she's not taking into consideration that hello, there's a pandemic going on. I see that we also have some new cast members. There was one of them, I didn't really get her name. I don't know if she's going to be a full cast member. I think we've only seen her once so far. I seen Latoya's on it. She is Latoya Forever in my head. Like, that's what I've always known her as. She's like an OG from YouTube. Back when I first started, she was one of the first people I used to watch, because I used to watch like a lot of different genres, including comedy. And I just love the fact that I was more so able to relate to her because she was Trinidadian, and I'm from Montserratian, so we love soca music just the same. And I just love Trinidadians' accent, and a lot of their words is the same as our words and things like that. So I always kind of gravitated to her in the beginning, but then like she kind of switched it up and changed. And I seen her along the time, like as she got her boyfriend, husband, fiance, husband now they separated, her kids, kind of seen that journey. But somewhere along the line I just kind of fell off. Probably after the first child, I think I was just kind of like, all right, she's a little different than I remember. It's not really the same content. It's so commercialized now that it just really wasn't my cup of tea and my flavor. And plus my attention span was just not here for vlogs and stuff. But I say that to say, like, yeah, I have noticed that she changed, and even, her face changed, her body changed, like, just a lot about her since I first saw her back in the days. But she made it to TV, y'all. She definitely made it to TV. She's on our screen, so, major accomplishment to her for that. But I wonder how Adam feels. It's like, damn, now that we separated, now she getting the bigger bucks. Because, I know she was already doing well, but now it's like, well. Hope you got that prenup, boo. Because, yeah, ka-ching. So following that, let's see. Oh yeah, and another thing too is that Kenya, she got her little bicurious thing going on. I seen her doing some flirting with Latoya Forever. I gotta stop calling her that. Latoya as well. Cynthia, her sister was really keeping it real with her because they had all went to go check out the venue and things like that. But once again, like I was saying, like in her head, and this stems from like even the last episode that I saw where Mike was kind of like, are you more concerned about getting married to me, or are you more concerned about the wedding? Like, what if it's only you and me? Would you still be able to do it? And her hesitation, even though he didn't say like, yo, I'm hurt, I think he just kind of wanted her to catch his vibe and understand, like, you're hurting me right now by the way that you're talking, because the way you're talking is almost like that's all that you care about is the everything, you know? Like, you want to get dressed up, glammed up, you want it to be televised, but you're not thinking about everything else. Like, you're not thinking about the human beings that are actually doing this. Like, that's what's more important. Because you could have an amazing wedding. That don't mean you're going to stay together. That doesn't mean you're going to have that good bond and things like that you're supposed to have. So, it's like she didn't really understand, though. So, it did take another perspective for her to kind of realize, like, hello. So it's pretty much her sister kind of let Kenya know, and then when Kenya kind of gave it to her RHOA real quick, that's how she was kind of understanding, like, like maybe I'm kind of looking at this the wrong way, and that helped her to kind of realize what she was doing and how she was hurting him so much each and every time. Like, he was getting upset, you know? So Drew is another person that we just get introduced to this season, or I don't know if she was in any other seasons, but to me, she's new. I did miss the last season and maybe even the season before that. I kind of did fall off a little bit. I did see their reunion, their virtual reunion, but that's kind of that was kind of like the most of what I saw was the reunion that they had to do virtually. So back to this. So Drew, she feels like her husband, he's kind of like a tough kind of guy. He doesn't really show her child that she had before they had a child together that good kind of, love or whatever, that strong bond. I think they have 3 kids together. 3 kids in total, and then 2 of them are theirs together, and then 1 is hers from a previous relationship. And I think he's 9, but I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, with him, she feels as though she just wants them to get like a better kind of bond, and for him to not be so tough on him, and give that emotional love that he kind of deserves and needs, She knows that that's not the biological father, but that's the kind of things that she wants to see. See, he says that he just wants respect, and he wants to get it on like 3 times or more a week. Minimum. And, but for me, like, just kind of watching them in previous episodes, I do definitely feel like perhaps they should not have gone on the show. Like, I don't know if this was something that's going to actually strengthen them. Unless they look at this and they kind of say, like, wow, look at the things that we're doing wrong. Look at how I'm treating you. Look at how this and that. But I just kind of feel like they should have been working on their marriage before they came on the show, because they just seem like they're not doing well. And then when she revealed to the group in the previous episode that that he went away for like 3 days, she didn't even know where he was. Everybody's looking at her crazy. It's like, the more you tell people is the more they know, and the more they look at you crazy, and the more they're going to judge you and judge your relationship. So you're giving them things that they can possibly use against you if you get into an argument with them later on. They're going to be like, that's why you don't even know where your man be at. They're going to say crazy stuff to you. So I don't know. And I do feel like he seems a little disrespectful to me, honestly, because I wish somebody would talk about I'm leaving for 3 days. The second day you don't come back, the locks are gonna be changed. Like, and he was watching them, like, you watching them, but you're not answering your phone calls. She doesn't know where you're at. She thought you was in the other area where you're usually at. Like, that's crazy to me. Dude dead went to another state. They're in Georgia. Dude went to Tampa Beach, he said. Like, are you nuts? Are you dumb? And it's during a pandemic? Nah. Like, that just seems crazy to me. So I could understand her frustration. And he just kind of brushes it off and makes her feel and look like she's crazy, you know? And from what I'm gathering from when they had their session with the counselor or the therapist, it seems like... Hold on, yeah. Let me get out of this. It seems like she's just kind of trying to be everything for him. She's trying to be the mother that he never had, which that's not really her job, to be his mom and fulfill those things that he's missing or missed out on. Her job is to be his wife, you know, and that's what she says. She's like doing so much that it's hard for her. She even has to go to counseling herself. But, you know, he doesn't seem like he's as appreciative of all the things that she does. And even just seeing him talk, like, that's just what I'm kind of gathering from that. But he does seem like he had to be strong at a young age because his mom didn't appreciate him. His mom didn't show him that love. So, therefore, this is the person that he became. He became like, and he had to be like the man of the house at a young age as well. And then eventually he said he moves in to be with his dad because his mom didn't show him any appreciation. I think he said when he was 18. And then that's when she got evicted. And then that's when she started to show some type of love and appreciation and apologizing. So it's almost like that's what he does here. He runs because he's trying to get appreciation that he doesn't feel that he gets. So he just runs and leaves in hopes that that's what will happen because that's what he's used to or that's what he saw growing up. So, you know, it's definitely true that a lot of things that we do comes from our past or from our upbringing, but it's up to us at some point to kind of break that cycle, and I feel like he hasn't done that as yet. Even when he was talking about his father passing, you know, you could see the emotion in him, but it's like he's just so masculine that he didn't want to let it out. There was another part where she was about to cry, and he's just like, oh, you know, it's almost like he was patronizing her, you know, like kind of like playing with her, and she's like, yo, what are you doing? It wasn't the moment for that. It was almost like he's like, yeah, I know you're soft, like you're about to cry, like I see it in your eyes, but it wasn't sympathetic or empathetic at all the way he was doing it. So that was with that. So we see that Marlo's back, and she has a really good relationship with Portia, which is good. It's almost like she's taking the place of, I don't want to say Kenya because they had some huge blow-ups, but almost like she's taking the place of Nene in her life because, you know, her and Nene were close until they had that big blow-up where now I'm assuming they haven't rekindled their relationship. It seemed like they were trying, but it seemed like that just kind of went to the left. And it looks like Nene's no longer on the show. So yeah. Portia did reveal to Marlo, and I forgot the other girl's name, but she revealed to them that Dennis, he's been sending like co-parenting gifts to her. And of course she's going to accept them, but she also, quote unquote, doesn't want to lead him on. Like, yeah, you're taking these expensive gifts. He's thinking like, yeah, I'm moving in the right direction. And this is what I got to do to get you back, you know? So he's definitely thinking that he's doing the right thing. But she's just kind of playing him at this point because she said she's not really trying to move on to anything serious at the moment. So Kenya, she decides that she wants to bring this Rosa Parks doll to an event that Lauren, which is Portia's sister, is having a surprise event for her. For all the Black Lives Matter and protesting and getting arrested and all these things that she's been doing to just help with all the unjust things that are happening in the world. She was really like vocal in those times. But to be honest, like her heart might have been in a good place, and I know she was disappointed when Lauren kind of rescinded her invitation. And it wasn't initially even an invitation. It was a +1 for Cynthia. Like, it wasn't like, yeah, I want her to come. It was more so like, yeah, that's going to be your +1, right? Yeah, I guess, you know. But then she thought about it, and she just didn't want the negativity to be there. And Portia didn't mind, you know. She was actually okay with that decision once she found out later on. But the way that Kenya was speaking before she found out about the event, and even when she spoke to Candy regarding her feelings towards the event, she's just like, well, you know, Portia's just doing this for the camera. Why is it that she keeps on putting herself out there when we're having a whole pandemic? And why is it that she's only trying to get arrested when cameras are around? She's like, what are her intentions? You know, it's just like, she's not convinced. And she is the type to say these things at the wrong time, you know what I mean? And kind of vocalize the way she feels. So even Candy had said to, like, Cynthia, you know, the way she was talking on the phone, it's probably best that she didn't come. And Candy, you know, she ain't loyal to nobody but her family. She gonna let you know if she feel that you ain't doing something right. Like, she don't really care how you feel. She's gonna let you know. And she even told her, like, you know, maybe if you feel that way, it's probably best that you shouldn't come. Like, she told her that herself. So it's like, even when she told Cynthia that about Kenya, it's not like Kenya could say, like, oh, why you talking behind my back? Because she told it to her on the phone. You know what I mean? Because that's the way she felt. But so when they did have the party, Portia was like she really enjoyed it, and she really was appreciative of the gesture that her sister had put on for her. They had like her picture there. She got a chance to talk about everything and just how she feels about the whole movement, what she's been doing. So you could tell she was good about it. But Latoya, she was there, and I don't know if she's put here to make people laugh because that's what she does. But I don't know, it just kind of comes off as a little like ignorant or obnoxious. And this is not the first time she did it. This is the second time she's meeting someone new and she's saying something like, with no filter, just kind of like I said, obnoxious and kind of ignorant. Where the girl is, I mean, it's kind of true, but still, you don't say it like that. Like, just the way she said it was just kind of like Mean Girl-ish. She's like, oh, yeah, you seem like the type to be with an older man who has money. You know, I mean, yeah, the woman's husband is an older man with money, but still, like, the way she said it, it was just like, you know? Like, first of all, the girl is not drop dead gorgeous or anything like that where you would automatically assume that. But, I mean, it's possible, you know? But, yeah, I just felt like she's probably going to keep on doing this throughout the whole entire thing. Like, even in the last episode, she talked about, I think the girl having Drew having a cat on her head or something like that. And I'm just like, why? You know, why? Why are you doing this? I guess she's just trying to find ways to keep her spot, you know? But we're definitely going to be seeing her in a different light, I'm assuming. And some of us probably won't really like her as much as we like the scripted reality TV vlog version that she usually does, you know, because it's just different when you see somebody kind of like, you know, in a certain element as opposed to how you've always thought they were. But yeah, I mean, that was pretty much the episode in a nutshell. This one wasn't too action-packed or anything like that. So we'll see what happens in the upcoming episodes. You know, they just have like a whole ton load of episodes all the time. So there are going to be some that are going to kind of be like filler episodes. And there will be some that will be action-packed. So to be continued, we shall see. All right, guys. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure you comment down below. If I do get a decent amount of comments, I will start doing my comment shout-outs again like I used to do in the past. And yeah, we'll see what else we do. I'll see y'all later. Look at him back there. My co-host.